All right, guys, this is a perfect example of the great part about the dumpster business. Supply and demand, that's all there is to it. There's not a lot of companies around here that do this, and right now they can't get any 20, 30, 40 yard dumpsters. So here I am. I've got 2 of them here because they're tearing down that garage over there. They need 2 more. That's awesome. So the best part about it, I can basically charge my regular rate to get these things rented out because they have no choice but to use somebody like me who actually has them available. And this is going to be a good day. These are going to be kind of heavy, which is kind of a bummer. I don't like to beat up my equipment that much, but I'll be under, you know, DOT. I'll be fine. I'm not going to be breaking any laws, but I'm not going to be, you know, bringing in the bacon on the weight. That's for sure. So the cool thing is, these guys were originally, they're like, oh, we can definitely fit them in 220 yards. We can definitely fit the whole thing in 220 yards. They get going, they said, no way. We're gonna need at least 3, possibly 4. So each one of these is gonna be renting for $345 plus tonnage. So it'll probably work out to be over $1,000 job in one day. No problem. I mean, these guys are quick though. They got all that torn down in one day. Incredible. All right, like you can see, it's a narrow drive here, so people are driving through, so I'm gonna get this thing loaded really quick, get on the road, get to the dump. I gotta bring both of these back, hopefully before these guys get done with their buffet lunch. They're from out of town, so they're asking me where to eat, and I said, how's your stomach? And they wanted to go to a buffet, so I'm gonna get both these back to them by the time they get back from lunch. That way they can load them back up, and I have them emptied either this evening or get the last one emptied tomorrow. So easy day. I love it. I've had a slow week. Right now, beginning of December, and all of a sudden it's 70 degrees, so people are trying to get their stuff done, and this is what happens. I love it. Right when you think that your business is falling apart, you're not getting any business, something like this happens, makes it all worth it. Like I said, guys, supply and demand, that's the best part. These guys could not find a dumpster, or at least not at a reasonable price, because they knew they were going to need a couple. Nobody in town seems to ever have any 30s or 40s available. So they're like, you have 20s. I'm like, yep. And they said, okay, well, these other places, they want like $600 and something a dumpster, and we only need it for one day, but we're gonna need, 2 of them. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm your guy. I have one day prices. So that's the best part about kind of doing that tiered pricing, because now they need 4 of them because they don't have any other options in town. And that means they're gonna rent 4 of them from me because I can turn them over. That's the other thing with these big companies. Say they had ordered 2 of them, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna need 2 more. The chance of another company coming out that is as big as, Republic, Area, Waste Management, and turning those over 4 times in one day, it ain't gonna happen. Luckily, I had a slow day. I cleaned out all my dumpsters that I had free yesterday. Timing was perfect because I went and I cleaned out these 2 dumpsters. I had them sitting, and I was like, oh, this is the first time I had a dumpster sit in a while. Boom, he needs both of them, and I'm gonna rent them to him 2 times over. So it's pretty nice. So a lot of people always ask, oh, how do you feel about slow weeks or whatever? A slow week can go from a slow week to a fast week, I mean, instantaneously. It is insane. So be prepared to, at the drop of the hat, have to be like on top of stuff. So luckily today was kind of like my maintenance day. Aired up all my tires, I did a couple patches, made sure I had all my oils, my fluids and everything, and then I was checking in on one of my rentals. So today it went from casual to busy really quick because I'm kind of on call for these guys now. But it is what it is. I'm not going to pass up an opportunity like that for, a quick $1,000 or whatever this is going to be a day. So I'll keep you posted on what it turns out to be. This is actually one of the lighter ones because it looked like they basically cut the roof into squares, which was pretty cool. I mean, these guys are doing this by hand. A couple months ago, I did 2 or 3 mobile homes for somebody where they were chopping up mobile homes for the park owner and putting them in the dumpster. And like one mobile home would take 4 or 5 dumpsters. So these guys, when they told me they were going to do it in 2, I kind of was like, I don't know how you're going to do that because I've seen this done. Because those guys that did the mobile homes had skidsters and excavators and all kinds of stuff. They were smashing it in. They were making every ounce of that dumpster count. These guys are doing it by hand, which is incredibly impressive. But I had a feeling they were going to need at least 3 dumpsters to get that garage and screened-in porch taken down. But we'll see what happens. These guys are pretty cool. It's always good to network. The owner is actually on site, and he owns a garage company, and those are the type of people you like to make friends with. So make sure you put on a good impression. Don't be an absolute tool the first time you meet somebody like that. All right, let's see what happens here. All right, man, it's warming up. It's hilarious. 70 degrees, December 2nd, Midwest. A couple days ago, low 30s, 20s even. So, got the first dumpster dumped. I'm taking it back, dropping it, grabbing the other one, and then putting it back in the driveway, then moving the one I drop off in the street into the driveway. It's kind of complicated. It's kind of a bummer when you gotta move dumpsters just to move other dumpsters, but it is what it is. Right now, that first dumpster came in at a measly 1.8 tons, so it wasn't very heavy, which is kind of nice because then I don't have to go back to the person and say, hey, by the way, that dumpster is going to be a lot more expensive. But instead, that one's going to be pretty cheap. The other one looked a little bit more topped off, a little full. Looked like every crevice was full, so it probably will cost them a little bit more, but yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not really making a lot off tonnage. Actually, I don't really make anything at all. So we'll make sure to get that one dumped, move on, and then we'll see if they ended up needing all four, if they're only going to need three. If they only need three, I probably won't even charge them for the fourth drop just because it's there as more of a safety net. I don't need it right now, and just like anything, contractors are overwhelmed as it is, and when they find out they need more dumpsters and they're, you know, that's costing them more overhead, you need to be understanding, especially if you ever want to get their business again. So don't just try to penny pinch everybody just to get a couple more bucks out of them, because then if you end up charging them for a dumpster they don't use and they're only needing it for the day, and then they come back, they're probably not going to come back to you next time. They'll find a second alternative because they don't want to be charged for something that they don't need, especially, you know, these people, this job's being done like 6 blocks from my house, so I can't be greedy. Well, let's go get that other one, get it dumped, get it weighed, get on the road. All right, so we got the second one loaded. We're gonna head to the dump, get this one going. This one was quite a bit heavier. That tire trick that I showed in my last video actually worked pretty well. The truck just backed right underneath it. Nothing ever moved or shifted, or didn't have to jump in the truck and put it in park. That tire held that back roller, and I didn't have to worry about it. So let's get this one dumped, get going again. Man, if there's one thing I could still have, and I still haven't bit the bullet to get it, and I probably won't until I absolutely have to have it, is an automatic tarp. Gosh dang, am I tired of jumping up on top of these tall 20-yard dumpsters and tarping it, especially when I'm tarping over things like nails and screws where the tarp gets stuck. I hate that. It's not efficient to do that by hand. It's not fun, and I haven't done it because, you know, what I have works. It's just a pain in the butt to do it. So I envy all of you guys with the automatic tarps. Seriously, so efficient. Guys, so I just dropped off the fourth dumpster to him empty, got everything lined up in the driveway. The owner of the company was so cool. Like I was talking about the supply and demand type thing, he told me something that was really interesting. So I have somebody who I would consider is a competitor here in town. He was actually here when I moved back into town, and I brought my business with me, and I was starting it, you know, side hustle wise, and then I just kept going with it and made it my full-time gig. Well, he said that he'd contact this guy first, and he said, between you and me, which I just can't help myself, he said that guy just ragged on you. He said that he should expect nails in his tires. He's just undercutting the competition. He is absolutely hated around here, all this kinds of stuff. The guy got so irritated with him that he actually hung up on him on the phone. The customer hung up on the guy because he was ragging on me so much. That kind of shows you the type of business the guy was running, and the guy wasn't having it. I had a really good conversation with him. He talked about just me hustling and all kinds of stuff, and he was really impressed with my setup, the operation, how I ran things, how smooth it was. So guys, your image is everything, and the way you present yourself is everything. And it's not the first time I've heard this guy rag on me, but he went into very, very good detail about what this guy thought about me. So you know what? I'm gonna take it as a compliment. The guy runs dump trailers. He doesn't even run dumpsters. Granted, they essentially do the same job, right? But all of mine are bigger, and I'm not priced cheaper than him. Like I always tell you guys, I'm priced differently. So I have a tiered pricing program. He does something completely different than I do. It is what it is. The nice thing is this guy basically wrote me a check, told me that all 4 dumpsters are fine, and if there's any type of overage or anything after the check was written, to just save it, because he would just use it as credit because he's going to use me in the future. So there you go, guys. When you just come through for somebody, you're honest, you're quick, you're fast, it pays over and over again. So always remember to be good to your customers, and don't rag on your competition. It's not worth it. It makes you look bad. Lesson learned today, not for me. Well, actually, it kind of did, you know. That could have been me doing it to him, but I just don't talk that way about others. So, you know what? Everybody's out here hustling, trying to make their dollar. You know, it is what it is. It's all about just being as best as you can be. Thanks again, guys. Like, subscribe, follow. So far, in the day's work, we're definitely going to be over $1,000 on one day, and that's net profit. So just an example of what you can do in one day in this business. Granted, there's also slow days. So having a niche or having other avenues, like I said, getting in the rental business, I'm already getting insurance quotes for that to rent equipment, like heavy duty equipment. So, you know, some of you guys are doing snow plowing, grass mowing, all kinds of stuff, but there's money to be made with these trailers. A truck and trailer goes a long way. Drop in the comments what you use your truck and trailer for to make money. There's hot shotters, you grass cutters, like I just said, but let me know what you use. I'm pretty sure I'll probably hear something I didn't even think of. So thanks again, guys. Like, follow, subscribe, like I said, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you later.